Just in, folks, the story is bigger than anyone thought. Dan Bongino just now revealed that the FBI is probing whether people in the crowd itself helped Charlie Kirk's assassin. Think about that, okay? Not just one deranged shooter, but possible accomplices standing right there, hiding in plain sight. And while the Bureau is chasing DNA hits, destroyed notes, and mapping phone calls, something else is happening at the same time. Erica Kirk said it like prophecy. Something big is coming. And now, instead of silence, we're watching Charlie Kirk's movement explode into this worldwide uprising. Vigils held from coast to coast, turning point chapters flooded with new recruits. New Americans are breaking records for conservative support. It is unbelievable, guys. In fact, the exact opposite of what the radical left wanted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not what they expected. This is the collision that they never saw coming. In fact, FBI subpoenas, crowd conspiracies, and Dan Bongino's bombshells on one side, a global Kirk movement rising on the other. They tried to bury him, but all they did was plant a seed. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Wait until you see exactly what the FBI uncovered, the warnings that people ignored, the shocking truth that Dan Bongino just revealed, and how it has ignited the most powerful conservative surge that we've seen in decades. Guys, this ain't just some investigation. This is history unfolding, and it's happening right now under President Donald J. Trump. So I want to go ahead and start with the breaking news update, okay? This has the entire country talking right now. The FBI isn't just looking at one deranged shooter anymore. No, they are now looking at they're actively probing whether people in the crowd that day where Charlie Kirk was shot, they're actually probing whether people in the crowd that day helped make this assassination happen. Think about how chilling that is. Dan Bongino, he actually confirmed it himself. Agents are already dropping subpoenas. They're pulling phone records, and they're scrubbing every single call and text to find out who knew what and when. Now, this isn't speculation anymore. This is official, and the evidence is mounting. Forensic teams pulled DNA from the towel wrapped around the murder weapon. They found DNA on the screwdriver, and most disturbing of all, they uncovered proof of a destroyed note where the suspect actually wrote out his intention. I have an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to do it. And so here's the kicker. The FBI believes people may have known about his plan beforehand, that others may have seen the warning signs, heard the words, and chose to do nothing. Silence that may have cost a man his life. Now, Dan Bongino, he's not mincing words. He never does. He's making it very clear. No stone will be left unturned. He promised full transparency, but also admitted that there are things he just can't say yet without jeopardizing the case. Makes sense? I trust the guy. Do you guys trust the guy? Type in trust if you trust Dan Bongino, guys. Now, if you read between the lines, you can sense the weight of it all, right? I mean, this isn't just an FBI director speaking. This is a man who walked the crime scene side by side with Kash Patel, who looked at the evidence with his own two eyes, who admitted that Charlie Kirk wasn't just a colleague, he was a friend. Now, that grief was raw. Dan Bongino, he said it himself. The Bureau caught the suspect in 33 hours, but the pain doesn't go away. You could hear it in his voice. The mix of resolve and sorrow. He wants answers. Trump wants answers. He wants accountability. We want answers. I think you want answers, right? And so he wants to make sure the American people know the truth about what really went down that day. Now, this is bigger than one shooter. This could be a network. It could be a cover-up. And Dan Bongino's message was clear. If there was a crowd conspiracy, America's going to find out. Now, I really appreciate that, Dan. Now, it used to be normal to pick a Medicare plan and never touch it again, but times have changed. Costs rise, networks shift, benefits come and go. This is why the new standard is reviewing your Medicare plan every year with Chapter. They keep you updated, protected, and confident, and it's free. By the way, one of our viewers said, Chapter made reviewing my Medicare plan simple. Now I do it every year without stress. Now, so let me ask you guys, are you sticking with the old way, or are you joining the new standard like most people already are? Now, most people, they're already dialing the phone number on the bottom of your screen right there, or they're visiting askchapter.org/Ron. The phone number is 909-563-8279. And of course, it's a totally free call. chapter will never ask you for a dime from the Ron Yates community. All right, so let's talk about the signs that were staring people in the face before the shooting even happened, because this wasn't some random snap decision. In fact, the suspect's radicalization, it was visible to anyone that was paying attention. Family members came out and admitted that he was becoming more and more political, more and more detached. Co-workers said that he literally would walk away from conversations the moment politics came up. Friends admitted that he was spiraling, and then came the confessions, because text messages where he bragged about taking Charlie out, dinner table moments where he had said things that, really should have sent chills down people's spines. But instead of sounding the alarm then, people laughed. They joked about, turning him in for the reward money. They brushed it off like it was nothing. Can you imagine this? I mean, the assassin tells you that he's going to target a man like Charlie Kirk, and you think it's just a punchline? I can't imagine how I could find any humor in that. Maybe I'm just not deranged, so I wouldn't get the joke. Anyway, so that silence wasn't innocent. That silence cost us one of the most powerful conservative voices in America. And so while these warning signs were completely ignored, the aftermath, this has been anything but quiet. I mean, because what just happened next has taken the world by storm. Vigils in small towns and massive cities, tributes from coast to coast, even beyond the United States, support pouring in from Canada, Europe, and beyond. Shout out to comment down below if you're watching the show here from outside the United States. Let me know where you guys are watching from. So Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, posted photos and vowed to continue her husband's mission, promising to make the moment stronger than ever. And President Donald J. Trump himself confirmed he will stand shoulder to shoulder with the Kirk family at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium on Sunday, where nearly 80,000 people were expected to gather for Charlie's memorial. 80,000 people, guys. That's not just a memorial. That is a movement. And Erica's words, uttered in grief, now they're ringing like prophecy. She said, something big is coming. Now, folks, that something is here. The enemy, they thought that they could kill a man and end an idea, but instead, Charlie's voice has only been amplified into a worldwide roar. Now, if you want to see the proof that Erica Kirk's prophecy is alive and real, just look at what's happening right now with Turning Point USA. Look no further than the reports that are coming in that since Erica spoke, TPUSA chapters have been flooded with new registrations. I mean, 18,000 new requests, 18,000. In fact, I've even seen numbers as high as 35,000 new requests for new chapters. That is like a 10x increase over the roughly 3,500 existing Turning Point USA chapters that exist right now. That is huge. That is exponential growth. Do you understand what this means, guys? We're not talking about some small little blip, some small little bump. We're talking about a conservative youth movement. I can't even say doubling. 10xing overnight. If you're a leftist revolutionary sitting in your campus safe space, this should terrify you, because Charlie Kirk's organization is multiplying exponentially. His mission to bring young people over to the conservative side is growing faster now than it ever did when he was alive. They thought that they could stop him, but instead they unleashed him. And the numbers back it up in black and white. Look at youth voting trends under President Trump. 2016, there were only 34% of voters under the age of 25 that pulled the lever for Trump. But in 2020, the Democrats tried to convince us that they owned the youth vote. Trump dropped to 31%. But then came 2024. Donald J. Trump surged to 43% of the vote among young people. That's not just a rebound. That is a revolution. And it gets even more jaw-dropping, okay? Because for the first time in this entire century, Republicans actually won males under 25 years old. Now, if you go back to 2016, Hillary Clinton, she won that group by 11 points. Joe Biden doubled down in 2020, winning it by nearly 20 points. But the Democrats got too cocky. 2024 rolled around and Donald J. Trump flipped the script. He won young men by 3 points. 3 points. This is historic. And a huge part of that victory was because Charlie Kirk taught the movement how to actually reach these voters. That was key. Charlie knew the legacy media was dead. He told Trump and every conservative leader who would listen, Don't waste your time begging for airtime on fake news outlets. Go straight to the podcasts. Go where the young people are, and it worked, and it's still working. So if you're asking why the left is panicking, why the FBI investigation is now colliding with worldwide mobilization, just look at these numbers. Charlie Kirk's fingerprints are all over this youth surge, and now his voice is echoing louder than ever before. So you want to see the raw impact that Charlie Kirk is still having? I mean, just scroll through TikTok. A man with 2.4 million followers posted a video saying that he'd been watching Charlie's speeches nonstop after his passing. And what did he say? That Charlie was the perfect example of what a young man should strive to be. Wow. So think about what that means in this culture. We live in an age where hookup culture is glorified, where the system tells kids to waste their lives, getting blackout drunk every weekend, chasing meaningless pleasure. But Charlie Kirk, he stood up and he said, no, get married young, start a family, live with purpose, stop following the crowd. He preached discipline, faith, and legacy. And now those clips are blowing up, inspiring a new generation of young people who are desperate for something that's more meaningful. Now, Charlie's voice, it's being amplified tenfold. I mean, he's influencing kids he's never even met. And the left can't stand it because while their influencers are pushing chaos and despair, Charlie's message is giving young people hope and direction. And so this is exactly why the intimidation machine, it's revving up. The left knows they can't win on ideas because they have no ideas. So they're resorting to threats. I mean, just look at the thinly veiled comment from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's daughter. She said, be nice. I know, sounds harmless, right? But listen closely. The message is clear. Conform, okay? Speak the way we approve or else. And what happened to Charlie Kirk is just proof of what or else really means. You see what I'm saying here, guys? So this is the same story every time. Radical activists cheering online, memes mocking Charlie's death, celebrities and media figures twisting the knife. They want conservatives to feel fear, to believe that speaking up means you could be next. But here's the truth. Intimidation only works if you let it. And also, judging by the way that this movement's responding right now, fear is turning into fuel. The more they try to silence, the louder we get. So with intimidation escalating, conservatives, we're being forced to face a harsh reality. Speaking the truth is now dangerous. And this is why so many are calling for heightened security. Conservative speakers are now advised to sweep campuses, to do full canvases of venues before events, to add layers and layers of protection that in a normal world shouldn't even be necessary. Some are even talking about bulletproof glass. Think about that, guys. In America, the land of the First Amendment, people need to protect themselves like heads of state just to give a speech on a college campus. This is how far the radical left has pushed this culture. It's unreal. In fact, students are saying the exact opposite. They're not backing down. They're promising to hit more campuses and not fewer. And so the imagery could not be any more powerful. Picking up Charlie Kirk's bloodstained microphone and carrying it forward. This is the commitment of the movement. They want us silent. Instead, they've created a generation of voices determined to speak louder than ever. And so if you think intimidation's ugly, I mean, just look how low they've sunk. In Phoenix, Arizona, at Turning Point headquarters, Charlie Kirk's memorial was vandalized. Flowers and balloons were kicked over. Vases were smashed. A man literally trampling the memory of someone who dedicated his life to free speech and truth. He was taken to the ground by an onlooker and arrested, and the footage, it spread like wildfire. Now, here's the thing. While the vandals thought that they were sending a message, they were actually revealing everything. The world saw it. The world saw their hatred, their contempt, their black hearts on full display. And every time they do it, every time they mock, every time they destroy, they only harden the resolve for those who are standing for freedom. So what they don't understand, because they're not very smart, is this. The more evil they show, the clearer the contrast becomes, and the world is realizing we are not the same. We arrive at the heart of the moment, okay? The prophecy fulfilled. Erica Kirk, in her darkest hours of grief, said, something big is coming. And those words have become a rallying cry because what was meant to end Charlie's voice has only multiplied it. Everywhere you look, from the surge of new turning point chapters to vigils worldwide to young influencers echoing Charlie's values, it's very clear. They thought that they buried him, but all they did was plant a seed. And so now that seed has erupted into a global awakening. Charlie's life and sacrifice, they're mobilizing new generations into activism. His ideas, his discipline, his family, purpose, faith, they are all taking hold in the very places that the left thought that they had locked down. And so that is why this movement, this moment is bigger than Charlie Kirk. This is about the future of America, because here's a situation. On the one side, you got the FBI unraveling chilling evidence of complicity, possible crowd assistance, ignored warnings, friends and family who stayed silent. The darkness of what led to the fatal shot. Now, on the other side, you've got grassroots movement rising stronger than ever, fueled by courage, faith, and defiance. President Trump in office, young conservatives mobilizing like never before, and a nation refusing to let evil write the ending. So here's the question that we're all left with. Which future wins? The future where intimidation silences us, or the future where voices rise up unshaken, unafraid, and carry forward Charlie's legacy louder than ever? Now, my friends, this is not just about one man's death. This is about whether America bows to fear or whether America stands in freedom. And from what I see right now, from the vigils, from the chapters, and from the voices online, the answer is very clear. They thought that they could silence us, but instead they've only awakened us. And under President Donald J. Trump, this movement is not just surviving, it is exploding. Something big is happening, and we're only just getting started.